New Chicago Bears offensive coordinator shares big changes for the Bears offense. Hello everyone, I'm Andy here with Chicago Bears React, bringing you all of the Chicago Bears news you're seeking out both during the season and now here in the off season. Before we dive into today's story, please take a moment, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Make sure you're tuned into what we're talking about on this channel because there's going to be a lot of news coming out over the coming weeks and you're not going to want to miss a thing. Now, today was press conference day, and we heard from a number of different people. We heard from both coordinators, so Eric Washington and then Shane Waldron. We also heard from the Chicago Bears coach, who, if you missed it, he came out looking more like I don't even know what to say here. We've got a beard. We've got more hair. I mean, is this Coach Eberflus? Is this Coach Daddy? I don't know what's going on, but it's a good look for the coach, and I think the Chicago media was having some fun with that. So, but today we're going to focus on some of the words that came out from Shane Waldron. Now, Shane Waldron is the new offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. For those who need the refresher, he's coming from Seattle, where he was the offensive coordinator for the last couple of years there. Specifically, he was instrumental in the resurgence of Geno Smith, who had seemed like the biggest bust in the NFL as a quarterback, and put up MVP-type numbers while under Shane Waldron. And so Shane was asked a number of things, and I think one of the biggest takeaways that we want to touch on right off the bat is that Shane was well coached, pun intended, by the PR folks at Hallis Hall, not to give anything away. And he was pretty dodgy when it came to talking about quarterbacks. He didn't really talk about Justin. He didn't really talk about Caleb. In fact, the only real direct way he spoke about Justin was just he did confirm that he has been messaging with Justin a little bit. But there was really nothing that came out that would kind of indicate one way or another, which makes sense because the Bears, I got to hand it to them. I've never seen an organization this effectively keep their cards so close to the vest, keep their plans well obfuscated. And you know, in my judgment, I think that's going to be huge. I think it's going to mean we're going to see a sizable return no matter what's traded, the number one pick or Justin Fields. Now, a couple of notable things, though, that came out in the press conference that I particularly liked. So one of the things here that was touched upon was this idea that this is a quarterback-friendly system. And I'm just going to read this quote because I was very excited just about this thought here. He said, "I think in the past experiences, like I said, with different quarterbacks, different experience levels, whether I was in the coordinator role or in a role as a position coach, I felt that way. I felt different quarterbacks have been able to step foot into the system, be able to learn it quickly, and that starts with us being able to teach it in a good and efficient manner where they understand it and then being able to go and again, just because each guy is going to have a different skill set. So what direction does it go? The players really take ownership and control of that. And so, you know, one thing, a little bit of a word salad, but one thing that we kind of see here is one, he's again really kind of playing into this will they, won't they as it relates to Justin Fields. He's not tipping his hand what kind of quarterback they want. But I do think that this is shown to be true. The Seattle Seahawks have really had an aging Russell Wilson. They've had Geno Smith and they've had Drew Lock. They haven't really had any kind of exceptional talent at quarterback. And yet they've consistently produced no matter who was the coach or who was the quarterback underneath Shane Waldron. And so I think there's a lot of truth to this. I think you know, Shane, again, he was in Los Angeles with the Jared Goff Rams. This is somebody who he's seen this. He has seen different quarterbacks come in and have success in this system. And I think we should be encouraged by that because at the end of the day, we don't know who the Bears quarterback necessarily is going to be. I mean, we kind of do. It's going to be Caleb. But, you know, it's encouraging to know that there's a plan here regardless of who's at quarterback. But I think probably the thing that really caught my eye is he spoke to, you know, when kind of bragging on what he had done in Seattle, he specifically called attention to the fact that they won 6 games on fourth quarter drives in 2023. That's with both Geno Smith and Drew Lock. Now, for those of you who haven't really been paying close attention, the Bears are not good in the fourth quarter. Justin Fields has not shown to be effective in the fourth quarter. And if we're going to blame some of that on the play calling, Luke Getsy has not been very effective in the fourth quarter. Noted here, the Bears were 3-13 in one-possession games with Luke Getsy as offensive coordinator. If we look at this past season, the Bears had fourth quarter leads against Detroit, against Cleveland, against the Broncos, that all of those fell apart. And so you look at that and you say, man, if the Bears had won those 3 games, they're a playoff team. That's the difference. And so, I look at this and I say, okay, if nothing else changes, if the Bears run back the exact same football team as this past season, the exact same one, and Shane Waldron can prove to be a better play caller in the fourth quarter to turn those kind of games into wins instead of losses, this is already a playoff team. And then they have all of this draft capital. They have all of this free agency money that they can spend. Guys, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, like, the Bears should be going into next season as playoff contenders. I'm not saying we're going to be looking at the Super Bowl. I think that's too much to put on a rookie quarterback. But I do think it's not crazy to say if the Texans could be a playoff game winning team with C.J. Stroud as a rookie and a lot less talent, if we're being honest, why can't the Chicago Bears do the exact same thing with a quarterback that, frankly, I think everybody is saying is more talented than C.J. Stroud? Doesn't mean he's going to be better than C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud caught everybody by surprise. But from a talent perspective, Caleb Williams should be able to do that and then some. So exciting thoughts. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Are you as excited as I am about what Shane Waldron's going to bring, or do you have some pessimism going into this off season here about the offensive play caller? Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and as always, Bears fans, bear down.